Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video. We are going to be talking about something a little bit different today. Recently I went to Thailand and I found this unique little device at one of the markets there. Some of you emulation enthusiasts might recognize this item. This is called the R36 Ultra. And right away you might recognize this can run Game Boy games perfectly as it is shaped as one appropriately. I've been grinding Pokemon on it mostly, and I have to say, I really like it. I do still own my physical copy of this game, so I just extracted the ROM and put it on the SD card, along with a few of my DS games as well. And it got me thinking that this might actually be the perfect LEGO Bionicle gaming device. The R36 Ultra is marketed to play up to PlayStation 1 and Nintendo DS games. It has no problem playing N64 or Sega Dreamcast. This is actually kind of perfect because this is from the exact same era that Bionicle was from. Now, yes, it cannot run PS2 or GameCube. There are some more expensive devices that you can get that can do that. But realistically, I've seen people run Half-Life 2 on here. And since this device is Linux-based, I think it is possible to get the PC version of Bionicle Heroes running on here. It wouldn't be a flawless 60 frames per second by any means, but it definitely would be possible. The biggest concern for a lot of you might be the Nintendo DS emulator portion of the device. You can flip between the screens no problem, that's the way that I prefer to do it. Most DS games typically rely on the top screen anyway, but you can have both on screen if you have to. Another question you might have is, okay, well, wasn't there a stylus portion of the DS? Don't you have to use the touchscreen here or there? And there is actually a cursor, so it maintains most of the functions from the original Nintendo DS. It gives you some easy workarounds so you could at least make it manageable. I don't own the ROM, so I can't show gameplay, but playing classics like LEGO Island 2 or LEGO Racers 2, or even the GBA versions of LEGO Star Wars or the DS ones if you want some really cursed experiences, it's possible, you can do it. If you're a really big fan of that 90s to 2000s era of LEGO games, this might just be the perfect thing for you. Getting back to the hypotheticals and theoreticals, I don't see a reason why you wouldn't be able to run the Mata Nui online game on here. That would really just cap it off as the perfect Bionicle gaming device, especially with there being a cursor through the DS emulator. I don't have the skills or the knowledge on how to do that, but I'm sure someone out there does who's also a Bionicle fan, and I would really like to see them do that. This doesn't just stop at official games, by the way. If you've been living under a rock, or if you're not really into the gaming scene, there is a massive modding community for essentially every single fan faction of any media ever. There is a fan game called Takua 64 that is a modded version of Mario 64. Make sure to like and subscribe for that stream later, by the way. I even managed to get games like that running on this no problem. I will tell you right off the bat, it doesn't run as well as Mario 64 for whatever reason. I think this mod's textures are probably a bit too much for this device, but it should be able to work no problem on your PC. And before I forget to mention, most of these emulators run through RetroArch, so you can adjust the settings to your liking per each game if you really wanted to. Really, the only downside to this device is that you have to save through save states most of the time. You can actually create legitimate save files through games like Pokemon, but you will not be able to load up the save after you reset the game and load up to the main screen. I don't know why it doesn't do that, but it doesn't. So if you really wanted to trade Pokemon and you have no friends, you can play this on Wi-Fi locally, by the way. But if you can't do that, save the game like you normally would on a legitimate Game Boy Advance. Plug in your SD to your computer, pull out the save, create a new window with 2 separate saves, trade with yourself, save the game again, make a save state, then load up that save and save state on your R36 or whatever you're using. Or if that's too complicated, then you can just use cheats. If you do happen to end up getting one of these, I would suggest buying a new SD card, because the ones that come with these typically aren't that great and can die at any given moment. So just copy all the data, save it to your desktop, flash your new card with better firmware, and then transfer all the old files back to it. There's other videos on how to do that. They'll explain it much better than I have in this video. But that pretty much wraps things up. I'm not sponsored or anything, I just thought this was cool, especially from a LEGO fan or a Bionicle fan point of view. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like. Feel free to subscribe if you want more LEGO videos like these, or if you want to see me talk about games a little bit more, then make sure to subscribe to Ignition Plus. Thank you, and I'll catch you in the next one.